And let's see who's going to be continuing to surge through these playoffs. We're moving into the Mouse pick first. It's Nuke. It's a bit of a classic for the Mousesports side. And already, this pistol round has begun. You can see those GG odds ever so slightly putting this one in favor of Mouse. But I do think we're destined to get 3 maps here. Right away, it's going to be a ramp push for the Mousesports squad. They get ramp control. Yeah. And now what do they want to do with it? It looked like maybe there was an intent to go heaven there, but they decide against it and start to move down the ramp into this B site. Aerial dropped right away. And so that man advantage taken for Mouse.
The Hell Molly missed, which allows an earlier rotation, but you'll notice Rops is still in radio, waiting for that B drop. 3 on the double doors. BMAS got to hold strong. He's got Frozen by his side, and Frozen gets overwhelmed. BMAS is still tucked here, trapped in fact, but Carrigan's come in for support. ENCE, clock's ticking against them. The jump dead from BMAS. He's on 4 right now, looking for the ace. Alu shot in the back. Rops on the late lurk that we talked about, and that's going to be Mousesports finding a fast first round.
Yeah, and then for ENCE, you also have the news that broke that is Twista going to the analytical role and them looking for a head coach. So obviously things morphing, taking shape. And why would that be, Harry?
Well, you know, few coaches took it upon themselves to start playing Cypher before Valorant was released, obviously. And then, yeah, naturally, we tried to get rid of them, and they all just stuck around doing something different, didn't they? So you love to see it. Here we go. We got the AK over here on Rops, taking a peek towards outside. And moving in, it's the rest of Mousesports. Down through Secret, they charge. And when I say charge, I mean 1 guy did, but the other 3 is sneaking. And this is very, very purposeful. If you're ENCE, you've only heard 1 guy running. And, you know, while you've heard that, you're probably thinking, well, if their intent was to go secret and we've heard 1 dude running, they'd probably all be running. So you're not going to heavily rotate down to this B site, because as far as you're aware, there's 1 guy here. Alu is in this position, and now he quickly realizes just how outmanned and outgunned he is as they start to close the gap. And so this B site almost belonging to Mouse. There is still aerial, but they make quick work of him. Now they've got this control, and there's still Rops holding this outside play. Now, ooh, that's clean. Oh, that's clean as well. He makes quick work of the Eagles. Does old mate Rops, and while Yampy does get that kill, likely just going to have to hold on to the AK, but Mouse, they really don't want to let him. They hunt it down.
I like the pace that Mouse are already setting in this T side, right? Those MAC-10s running and gunning. Chris jumping through double door. BMAS with the double E, always entertaining where a player opens door, closes door, opens it back up, and catches the player in the site. And here's the 4K from BMAS in the pistol round as well. He just lit up the first round.
Well, BMAS doesn't want to be BMAS, does he? Harry Russell. And of course, Eduardo Byron.
That's what they call me.
Also known as Eddie.
Yeah.
Eddie Eduardo Byron. Byronsford.
Edwardshire.
Edwardshire, yes. Right.
Born and raised.
Some even say bread.
I'm gluten-free.
Okay. You put butter on that or what?
Don't really know what gluten is.
Don't know what the rules are with that.
Yeah.
Harry?
What?
Exactly. Full eco now for ENCE. Mouse is setting up for a top here, and there are 3 players here, but again, only USPs. Yampy on the Deeg, and this should be a quick affair for Mousesports. Molly pushes off a player. Alu falls into the waiting arms of Chris, who gives him a nice quick hug of death.
Just a little hug.
Oh no, they didn't even realize. They thought the site was clear. Yampy had a chance, but missed shots in the back, and they will strike back.
We should stop yampying around. Guys,
right now, there's 1 guy on Mousesports. There's 1 guy on Mousesports who could do it, you know, and feels like he's all by myself. You get it? By myself.
I don't know what was worse.
It was like nearly there. It was
right, of course.
By myself, you know,
all
like
by myself.
Yeah.
You know, sure. I see.
Look, man, I've never once done something like that, and I'm glad to know that the joke just really landed. All right?
It did.
Like,
I thought
really
you stuck the landing, like you know, like a rock falling from outer space.
Yeah, man, and no one sticks the landing like those guys.
I mean, they really plant themselves in there. You know, like.
All right. So we got this little pause coming to a close. It's nice, it's quick, that's what we wanted. Nothing worse than you get into a series in the playoffs, everyone's excited, and then boom, it's like, oh, take pause.
Well, actually, what I learned was that there was a player that was a little choppy, Hugo.
Ah, well, should upgrade that.
Yeah, it's not BMAS, it's BMAS. And to be exact, we are back into the action now, just as fast as we got there.
Oh, fast smokes again. Mousesports, this is just a terrifying pace. Obviously, they're still on bonus, so they actually have double SMG still, but if they can continue this into gun rounds, this could be really annoying. Karrigan takes quite the beating, getting down B. Rops lurking ramp, it's open for free. That ramp player has dropped. It's Aerial who's tagged up, so Rops has free real estate. Aerial, if he opens the door, he's got players' backs turned, but they're going to cross the window. Frozen with the entry, catching rotations down through the B-bomb site. Chris with another as Aerial comes in a little bit too late. And all this time, Rops is still working his way up towards heaven. Yampy, if he doesn't drop now, he's going to get dropped from above. Bomb plant for Mouse, and almost no way you can lose this one.
Yeah, and I would say that's especially true considering it doesn't even look like ENCE are considering it themselves. Both Yampy and Alu will tuck tail and save. Brings me back to my next question.
Uh-oh.
For Harry Russell.
Phew.
Yeah.
Harry, did you watch any good television programs last night?
Yeah, man. I watched like this.
Like these two old guys kind of like yelling at each other for about an hour and a half?
It was pretty cool.
Pretty sick, really. By sick, I mean disgusting.
Sick is definitely the word I would use to describe it. Of course, talking about Trailer Park Boys. That's what we watched.
Yeah.
Mr. Leahy versus Ricky.
Yeah. Well, no, even those guys I would have trusted more to lead my government. But anyway.
ENCE had no points of rotation there, right? You know, ramp was conceded, Rops took it, Aerial drop B, double vent dive, and Frozen's just waiting there with the Mac 10. Not every day you see that. And trying to match the pace of Mouse, but it leaves a better taste in their mouths. It's 4-0.
I did not see you pulling that one off. You go, licking his finger now, sticking it in the air, looking
for the wind.
Looking for the wind pressure. Barometer broken, of course.
But the Byron meter.
I would really mess that one up, Harry.
Yampy here, gonna take away the attention from me as he snuffs out B-Mass early on. That there is his first death over on this T side. Thus far, he's been a one-man army. I think it's really, really great that he's able to keep up this kind of pace. You know, like in that series the other day versus Na'Vi, he looked so damn good. And for a lot of people, I think they were questioning, like, is this a one-time, like, you know, you just wreck and then you kind of go back to, like, blending in? No, man, not at all. He's been off to a flying start here. And it is really nice to see. You know, when we just spoke to Karrigan in that interview, he said it kind of is like reinvigorated the team in the sense that it feels like a new team. And that's a really cool idea that Mouse can start to step up. But this A play could get decided by Sergey in the hut. Chris J gets the better of him, and Frozen there to trade that kill out. There's no one left inside of this A site. Alu is up in heaven, and he swings wide, but Karrigan trades it. Rops found through the smoke by Yampy, however, and that's going to leave Karrigan all alone, trying to navigate this clutch. And with a man already out through the heavens, through that Molotov, Aerial cements the first on the board for ENCE.
It only took them 4, but they got there eventually.
Yeah, kind of a desperate call for Mousesports, right? You lose that first man anyway, and you just group up and hit the heart with limited util, flashes out through. Sergey, surprised he gets nothing done there, right? A lot of damage that does get capitalized upon eventually, but good trade work for Mousesports to actually make that one at least interesting, get a bomb plant, keep this money somewhat salvageable as they can continue to buy up on this T side. We know how cheap it can be. Not the same story for ENCE, who only get out with 2, so the AWP out as well, but not a lot behind it. In terms of residual money,
yes,
the right word.
The residue money.
Of course.
When your bitcoins are sweating. You got so many stacked of them up, huh, Harry?
Yeah, man, so many. I'm holding on to them. Waiting for them to hit 100k each. Oh, and I'm out of here. B-Mass. Oh, he's out of here as well. He drops Sunny out of the round with just 2 bullets through that smoke. Yampy here to keep everything under control, but only for a moment as B-Mass is still continuing this tear. They've let him off the leash and he's deep within the A site. Molly's going to keep Aerial out of heaven. Alu with this AWP, scoped up on main. Alu has given us some great performances as of late for ENCE. You know, it just feels like every now and again, every couple of years, we get our mileage out of Alu, but this time around, Frozen gonna get the better of him. And Aerial now left in a 1v3. It might have to be another one of these saves here. And the most horrible thing about that is that previous round coming down to a 2v1 means that even if you save, even if you get away with the AWP, for example, that's pretty much all you've got in this next round. And he can't even manage that. So Mousesports up to 5. making a conscious decision to not pick up the AWP. I do think that's one of the cooler things about having like Carrigan and Chris J being your two AWPers is like you're not AWP dependent anymore. And truthfully, I don't think anyone does the AWPing at like an incredible level here, but you definitely can pick one up just to, you know, especially on a map like Train, second map in this series, right? Where like the AWP's kind of needed over on either side and they can don it, but you don't need it.
Smart decision for Frozen to make BMAS plant there, so he was low. You know, you want the high HP player covering the low HP planter, not the other way around. And Mousesports, they know they're against pistols. They know they've been playing this T-side fast, so yeah, the AWP is not a necessity, right? More of a counter than anything. And no need to counter the pistols, just get them out of the bomb site. Mollies down in the heaven, and many more where that came from. Mousesports are chock full of utility, and they're just going to cycle these until the round time has expired. The bomb's been planted, Rops is on T-roof. If he waited a little bit more, there were 2 more kills to come, and he's gone back out late. I think he's realized he's heard something. Someone's called something, and Rops has got the info and a kill. Frozen spotting Aerial, who does deal with 1, and now this could get interesting, but I love how suffocating Mousesports are being. As soon as they get this info, they start chasing down these players. Yampy with the kit in the site, but if he didn't stick the bomb immediately, there was no hope in hell. I think Mousesports probably would have had time to stop him anyway.
Or in heaven, Hugo. Depends how you look at it.
Yeah, late to the party thanks to those cycled mollies.
But for ENCE, you've got to feel so frustrated. I mean, obviously you only had pistols in that round, but you're just isolated. You're blocked out of the site. You're blocked out of any even chance of stopping a bomb plant here for Mousesports, who now go up 6-1. So far, so good for Mousesports.
Yeah.
They strategically drop 1 round, as we kind of, you know, learned is the meta now, Harry.
Yeah, man, I guess we've learned that.
Well, you learned that.
Okay,
We're talking about it. So
learning all the time, so
nice.
I can AI. Robs, look at this. Yeah, that's a bit overzealous, right? Tries to go out fast through the doors. The rest of the gang try and get in as well, but it doesn't end well for them. Carrigan and Frozen left in a 2-on-5. And ENCE, they really needed a clean CT round. This is their chance at it. This is their chance to build up some money here on this CT side. Carrigan doesn't get anything done, and so Frozen, how expensive can he make this? They know where he is, and they're even hunting this kill down. Sergey holding close on the left, and Frozen missed the timing on this cross, so he's gonna have to flick, and he can't. ENCE get that second, they keep 5 alive, and that's perfect if you're an ENCE fan, or if you are ENCE, right?
I think ENCE, they're probably big ENCE fans, you know?
I certainly hope so, right? They're not just sat there like, I hate this team, you know, like, oh, all right, guys. No, dude, that's a nice round, right? You keep 5 alive, you build up a bit of money, and so suddenly, you know, winning that 1 round like they did last time and then losing the follow-up doesn't just wreck you completely. Yeah. They can try and build something now.
We haven't even seen a whole lot from Mousesports, right? A lot of these rounds have just been fast A approaches, and so going back to Yard is definitely the right call here. You have so many ways of taking this outside control. Fast smokes down again for Mousesports. Yampy, he's going to hear these feet. He can hear the running. Will he try and follow them down? Rops, I guess, made it through the vent. He is very fast here. And yeah, they're aware of that. Nade's going through. Ali. Oh, he gets jumped on again. That's so frustrating to deal with, but Aerial will deal down some death. 2 kills for the Orc. The flank from Yampy. He was walking down Secret the entire time, and a 3-on-2 ensues. Mousesports trapped. Rops could get the drop on Yampy, and he does. Back up to the A side, perhaps. It could be an option, but Sonny's watching the vents.
Yeah, Rops with a pretty good position here, pivot position even, as he hangs out in the fence the entire round. And it would make sense. It's like the turnpike. You go through decon now, and that's just going to leave BMAS and him. Try to get this bomb planted. Plenty of time to play around with.
Sergey ain't falling for anything, right? He hears the door open, he immediately looks elsewhere. He knows it was all a ruse, a bit of a bait from Mouse. As BMAS looks for this B entry, he knows there's got to be someone here. Maybe Rops will find him first.
Good dink, but falls to BMAS to get that trade. Down to the 1v1 now, and not going for the immediate plant, but this decision could come back to hurt BMAS. As Sunny was all the way over in Secret, now far closer at these double doors. BMAS on the other side, gonna go through and into Sunny, wins it out, 5 HP, and locks in a 7th on the board for Mouse.
Well, I mean, 13-2, he's obviously feeling himself, but how long can that last? Well, not long enough.
Hopefully longer than the music. But yeah, wow, that's just crazy stuff for BMAS. Like, just runs through the door. Wins the one-on-one, simple as that. No need to overcomplicate it, guys. Just go kill. Ariel finally finds some success, right? He's been really hung out to dry on these A plays that Mousesports have been playing, right? He's been either rotating heaven and getting mollied or coming main into a clutch. B plays as well, dropping first, and Robs has been coming in on flanks there. So finally putting up a double down in lower, but it's still a lost round for ENCE. And Harry, as you said, right, 5 alive in the previous. ENCE do have money to reinvest. Things are fine for now, but again, 2 rounds in a row for Mousesports could signal the end of economy, the end of ENCE for the time being.
Can't kill ENCE like that. They're enchiladas. Not to be confused with enchiladas. Both delicious, might I add. You ever had enchiladas, Harry?
What is it? What's it like?
It's like a massive squid.
No.
Me either. I was just wondering if maybe you did.
Oh, no, dude. I remember once walking for about 50 minutes through...
Enchiladasville?
No.
Oh.
That was Pro League Finals Season 7. Texas, but what city? I'm trying to think. Dallas, that's
Arlington.
it. I walked
They
all
say
the way.
things are bigger in...
I walked all the way
obviously.
through Dallas for 50 minutes to go to apparently the best Mexican restaurant. And I got there, and then I tried to order a drink, and then I remembered you had to be 21, and I wasn't at the time. And so they wouldn't even give me one. And I was like, well, I've just made a right mug of
Did you
myself.
go by yourself?
Here. Yeah, it was pretty lonely.
Oh, this is actually a pretty sad story.
Yeah.
A lot of Bible thumps there for you, Harry. Hey,
Yeah, dude. Well, you know, sometimes you got to do something alone to really appreciate the journey.
Why didn't you just tell them you're British? And, you know, they
That normally works, actually. That was like the go-to.
Yeah.
Did you get chips and queso by any chance? Chips and cheese dip, as they call it in Kekona country.
Yeah, man, that was just free. They just came and brought that out with like some guacamole. And let me tell you, man, that guacamole was like,
Guacamole, jalapenos.
Jalapenos, man. Oh, I love a jalapeno.
I do love a tech timeout, and that's what we've got. Almost as savory as a jalapeno.
Savory.
Because you want to, get rid of that. No? All right, well. You guys are pathetic. 7-2.
Slow start for Alu as well, right? Orp is dropped in front of him in Spawn. He's 1-7. He's not really had any notable rounds. He had the bomb under his control once, but he got domed by Frozen on a crouch peak. So, yeah, waiting to see if Alu can come alive. But with some of the rounds that Mousesports are running, there's no surprise that he's not able to do anything, right? Outside smokes, Mousesports aren't like, I don't want to say overcomplicating it, because I like the wide smokes outside. They haven't used them yet. They've just been running red smokes and going secret fast and not been hiding that information for ENCE. But if you play those smokes, Alu's not going to get a fight outside. Obviously, the A plays, similar situation. And so maybe if things get slowed down, if Mousesports decide to default, we could begin to see Alu warm up into this game. As said earlier, he was damn good yesterday against Cole. Was a lost series, right? Putting both these teams in the lower bracket.
Everyone loves a good lower bracket run.
Not the team that loses. This is our first elimination from the playoffs. Keep that in mind, right?
Yeah.
The second will be Spirit v Astralis tomorrow. Now, obviously Spirit pretty good. Astralis also pretty good, but they got domed. They got destroyed by Heroic just minutes ago. And so if there was any time for Spirit to perform the upset of a generation, it would be tomorrow.
Coolest thing about that is that on both maps, Astralis got off to, I think it was like a 4-0 and then a 3-0 lead, and then past that managed to get 3 rounds. So essentially get like 16-3 from that point onwards. Yeah, man, no, that's sick from Heroic. And Pro League's really heating up to be something to get very, very excited about as we get deeper and deeper into these playoffs. But this tech timeout has come to a close. We're ready to head back into the game. So let's see what ENCE can offer us in this very important round for them. That economy teetering on the edge again. Mousesports gonna head outside with these smokes. BMAS.
Full send for
Going
Frozen.
behind them. They do send, exactly, Trace. They send Frozen aggressively into Secret. He's very, very loud about it as well. Rops has opened up at this A site. And so an early advantage taken. Now that might spur ENCE on to try and reclaim some lost ground, to try and make that sacrifice of Sunny worth it.
A take could just be free real estate, right? Yampi's dropped B. He's confirmed the fact that no one has come into this site. And Aerial is yet to leave ramp as well, which has been a pretty consistent factor. Mouse are faking A. Will that draw Aerial away as they set up for this ramp execute? Frozen still patrolling lower. Mouse holding on, maybe changing their mind, maybe going back into this A site. It would be a right call right now, but Alu's dropped B-Mass outside. Frozen coming up from lower, and Alu's ready for it, right? Yampi's made the call that no one's pushed past him. Alu looks away, and Frozen comes round the corner. Couldn't get better timing than that. Just Sergey on the site. He's got to do everything.
Oh, Yampi in with one, but that's it. And so now Sergey, you mentioned him, but Chris J dropping through the vents with that bomb, going for the B plant. Rops has really got to deliver here on this wrap round in towards hell. There is a man in heaven. Rops is going to hear the drop. He knows what's going on now. Is he going to try and flank them before they get to the vent? Looks to be the case, and the fact that they've gone slow allows Rops to get both of them. Wow. 3 in the round for Rops and 8 on the board for Mousesports. This is why, okay, right, so this is the dream. When I saw that B-Mass was joining Mouse, I was like, all right. In my mind, the more like young, malleable players that you can put around Karrigan, the better. And this trio of Frozen, Rops, B-Mass, is one that could be great, especially with a guy like Karrigan at the helm. And right now, all 3 of them are delivering in spades. There's 33 kills between those 3 players. And Chris J and Karrigan haven't had to really do much yet, which is a treat to see. They try and go fast into this A side though, and Sunny, good for 2, but the trades are in. And we're down to a 2-on-2. All in all though, this is a nice try from ENCE. They've gotten it close. But is that gonna be enough? It's Yampi left in a clutch.
They know exactly where it is as well. Re-smoke coming down. Oh dear, he's found some smoke kills before, but Mousesports will not allow it this time. Backing up, deep molly as well, denying him presence and getting that plant. Hell of a round for Sunny to put up 2, but it might all be in vain if Yampi can't find kills here. Crossfire between Rops and Karrigan. Oh, nade is good. Yampi walks into it. You know, when you try and escape a nade and you instead walk towards it, closer to it.
Happens all the time.
Yeah. And Yampi spamming back only calls for Rops to shoot through the smoke, and Mousesports find 9. Now, I didn't catch the first map of the series between Mouse and Na'Vi. It was a really competitive series. The last 2 maps going 29 and 30 rounds. But Nuke was a 16-5. Mouse wrecked Na'Vi on that opening map, and, well, boy, am I seeing why. This T-side is excellent right now. They've got great depth. He's not afraid of going for these A plays and trading effectively every single time they do. Deep molly behind the site. Karrigan triples up in the round.
Yeah, and you wonder if ENCE saw that, you know, if they're thinking, oh, well, maybe, you know, we'll play Nuke and we can take him on Nuke, or we'll give him a shot. Oh, there's that sound we all love. But this time it's of the tactical variety. While Bemis hasn't slightly cooled off just yet, Rops is joining him, Frozen's joining him. The rest of Mousesports doing what they've got to do in what is a 9-2 route so far.
Warpout again, Mousesports have not had a single one on this T side, even when it's been dropped to their feet. Not interested. No reason to change that. 9-2 up on this T side, and back to the outside smokes as well. This time not crossing heavy behind them. Frozen will be lurking, but Aerial, he's crossed the secret fast. No one's going to silo to stop him. Rops quick on the ramp. Yampi has got the M249.
I got Yampi, man. I always knew there was a reason I like this guy. He buys up the M249. Now, a lot of you know I've been calling for that gun to get used more and more.
Harry, the big question is, was that a misbuy? Sunny's got no armor M4. I don't even know how he got to this point.
Of course that wasn't a misbuy. Yampi.
The rage buy.
The national hero of Finland.
Ah, yes.
It's a all right gun. And remember, the Negev is banned. So
that, you know, M249, the saw down the ramp room, it's got potential. Maybe we'll see it come to fruition someday. So far, so good for Mousesports. They set their sights over here on this upper site. Alu taking a peek from upper. And it's left Karrigan in a precarious 1v2 that he's going to lose to Aerial. There's that M249.
If there's one thing we can draw out of conclusions from that round is ENCE, they buy an M249, they win.
They win, yeah.
Simple as that.
So let's see if they get another one.
Well, they can't. That's the sad thing, right? It is ludicrously expensive. But I'm telling you now, if that gun was $4.5 grand, I think it's used more.
Yeah, I don't know if it was like purposeful or if it was a mess, right? Because Sunny had a no armor M4, which is actually a real problem at the back of the site. He got immediately aim punched through the wall.
We can look at the downsides of buying it all day long, or you could look at the fact that it was here in the first place. You know, don't gift M249 in the mouth. That's what they say.
Yeah, basically. I mean, I carried one in the army, and you know, it wasn't that fun. It wasn't as fun as playing Rapper, I'm not gonna assure it. Yeah, you know, there's just something about a bunch of ammo on your back and, you know, trudging through the mud with that thing. It's just, it's not a very mobile weapon, as you can tell. And also the stopping power itself. So.
I can't imagine it is.
Yampy's downgraded to an AK. He did smoke spam BMAS out of the round. And Aerial finally putting up a ramp kill that isn't traded. He's able to drop off and wait for Alu for support. He gets one. Aerial eventually does die, and that opens up a path into the B-bomb site. Rops is hunting for Alu. But actually, B is completely free. It's clear right now. Alu's gone back towards CT to cover this position. It's a very good spot right now. But ENCE, are they going to retake lobby? Get some more info, get some more real estate. BMAS has gone B, or Frozen rather, but I think he's going to be faking things out. Rops is coming against Alu, and he's got the timing and the shot to back it up. ENCE in the lobby, he needs Frozen support.
Yeah, with that kill, he's just kind of shown that, hey, you know what, we can take heaven at this point and kind of even do whatever we want.
All right.
Kill them all.
Oh, Robs, get the ace. One man left. It's Yampy over in the squeaky door. Frozen's coming up the vent. Yampy just looking away. Now that's drawn his attention away. He does deal with Rops, and it's left to Frozen jiggling on the vent. Might come to regret that as he's given over the 1v2 to Yampy. Man, Rops with 4, but not enough to close out the round. I mentioned just two ago how this trio had 33 kills of BMAS, Rops, and Frozen. Well, now they're on 45 as 2 rounds have passed. That's not even possible. I meant 3 rounds, but same thing.
Numbers are hard, but not for Rops. Putting up 4 in the round and still losing it. That's a nail-biter.
Yeah, it's
Frozen playing on the vent. Yampy with a 1-on-2 as well, right? Like, he was a bit quiet yesterday. I don't think we really saw the full potential. At times, he wasn't even AWPing. It was Sergey AWPing over him, right? Him and Alu with the double AWP. So, yeah, there's some questions. Yampy, quite the arsenal of weapons, though, as we've already seen in this map. Karrigan with the wide smokes. And this is what I was waiting to see from Mousesports. A little more depth to the outside control, crossing behind Garage. No AWP for Alu to put a stop to this. He's playing lower now, and that means Yard is complete free real estate. Mousesports can go wherever they want.
Yeah, for Mousesports, you're talking about that free real estate. They do often find themselves in situations like Rops down in the vent the whole round. We got Karrigan, who's already in hell right now. It can wrap on these players and ramp. But look at him go.
Oh dear. No one in this A site is even considering heaven. There's 3 that Karrigan could get right now, and he does jump the gun, but in with 2. And there's no jumping out of this one. Now, there is a double from Sergey, but Karrigan is in with all the kills, now turning his attention back towards heaven. He is just locked in this round for Mouse single-handedly. He's on 3 already. Can he take down even more? Both players set up in CT and Hell, gonna try and flash themselves into heaven. Karrigan departs it, does concede heaven and give that up to ENCE, which allows for this rotate into the site. Aerial is like, I don't even want to dodge the full damage. I want to take it.
Straight graceful.
You might regret that. Karrigan almost on for the ace, but BMAS not ready to give that over yet.
Boink.
Does steal it away, but regardless, it's 10 on the board for Mousesports. This is a very, very good T side from them. Yeet!
Said Aerial, coming in from the heavens, and maybe that extra damage was a problem, right? It was sprayed down, it wasn't an immediate headshot, but that's not looking too deep. Right now, surface level, Mousesports, damn good.
Last round of the half, though. No M249s are coming out to play today.
Sag. Back he goes. Oh, Mag 7. Hello. Oh, it's messy. Oh, dear.
How does Alu win that?
No idea.
Rops now retiring after today. We never saw it coming. Karrigan in with 1, but there's a man pushed up outside. Karrigan just goes by him. And for Yampy, he's like trying to play the long game. He's thinking, well, if anyone else comes outside, they don't know I'm here. But for him, no one else is coming outside. And so now he's trying to go aggressive, but timing is everything for Yampy. This outside flank could make this round for ENCE, but at the same time, it might just miss every timing. Aerial at the ramp, dealt with by Chris J. And Yampy arriving far too late to find anything from this wrap round. That is such a shame for him. essentially, Alu dies, there's no response, and they gamble it all on that flank finding something, and it doesn't. And now you're left to rotate Vent, and it's like, I doubt Mousesports are thinking, well, why is he in Vent? It's like, no, that makes perfect sense. So here comes the push, the retake in a 3-on-4 for ENCE. Carrigan holding off this double door rotate, and he's going to have Yampy to go toe-to-toe with. He's already hidden in this smoke.
Waiting on the fade can favor Patient, but Carrigan also delivering death. He's got 2. Sergey coming in on the double, and Carrigan's going to tap him out. Another 4K for the in-game leader, and 4, well, that's all the rounds ENCE managed on their CT side. Let's see if they can pick things up and recover in the second half. Join us in just a moment.
Into the action, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for a second half of play here on Nuke. And what that means is Mousesports and Hugo will be continuing the yelling. Go ahead, Hugo.
Holy smokes, Trace. What an introduction. What an entry back into the second half. But let's bring down the tempo.
I can never tell when it's a parody and when it's like the...
that was a reference to earlier. I can see the pain on Trace's face. You'll see that come through in a few more days. We'll give it time. And Mousesports, they don't need no time. They're stealing rounds away from ENCE in this T side. Now swapping and swapping over to the defense. And
yes, the new part of the Fantasia movie. No?
Indeed.
Sorry, I'm a boomer. But not at the same time.
What's Sunny doing with his util? Going silo. We see Heaven smokes thrown from this position. You can do all sorts of outside stuff. Right now, yumping up. And yeah, this seems to be a Heaven smoke by the looks of things. So hence, they want to take down a bomb site. Oh, so he's breaking the window with a nade? Cool. That gives even further warning to Mousesports that this is going to be an A take. Unless it's not, but ENCE are grouping up towards Hut.
Yeah, surely this is an upper hit.
Full armor for Mouse.
Sunny decides to throw the grenade. That's going to pop the windows. There goes the smoke, the flash to follow. That might be just enough, and it's not. Bemis in sight, Frozen and Chris J getting the work done, and they just get their lunch ate right here in this upper site. Easy as that. Alu and Sunny devastated. Now just Sunny, 1-on-4.
Oh, we saw the idea. We saw it was meant to happen, but my word, there's no accounting for individuals there. Chris J popping off, and that's going to leave Sunny all alone. 1v4. Bomb drop back in the hut. It's no secret to Mousesports where he can be, and they just triple peek him. Everybody swings and takes that fight. Mouse on to 12. No bomb plant means you can't even really justify a force buy here if you're ENCE.
I even love the way the Mouse play that 3-on-1 because the only person who's peeking main is Karrigan in upper, who's like wide, right? So in order for Sunny to even get a fight, he has to swing wide enough that he can see Heaven. At that point, the Karrigan makes contact, both Hut and Sight peek. And so Sunny's just stuck in the open, getting faced by 3. Like, he can't choose to fight one-on-ones. So that's a nice little safe play from Mousesports. Not a safe one for ENCE, so they're going fast.
Yeah, they went with the force, and that might be their undoing, honestly. The Chris J Org just raining down death. And that there is the round swept aside very, very quickly. So, yeah, you put everything into that round. What do you have to show for it? Well, you got 1 kill onto Frozen, and that is the extent of it. It's just going to have to be an eco again here for ENCE, with a 14th round looming for this Mousesports side. With no utility, you know, it might just be one of these rounds where you kind of, you know, you sit lobby, you try and waste some utility from Mouse, you know, you make it expensive. Even if you don't kill anyone, you try and force a lot of rebuys of util. And then you just kind of try and make something happen. Doesn't really have to be anything in particular. You just group up, you try and play a numbers game. Frozen with the flusher buy, USP and armor here into round 18.
Insult to injury. And boy, are there some injuries on the ENCE side in this half. There's watching the cross, Chris making a contact. It's just taps at the Org. He does some damage, suppressing fire. And ENCE, fearful, scared, player above, seen. The shadow is up for Frozen.
That's so creepy. You talked about Jeepers Creepers yesterday, and that's exactly what we're seeing right here. A little bit more blood spilled. Chris J just continues to pepper away with the AUG. Meanwhile, it's Rops doing all the real heavy lifting around here, getting all the frags. Oh, look at him go.
Yoink.
Ah, there's Jumpy. Or Jompy, as we say in my native tongue.
Oh, Rops is so good. It's not fair. How is he allowed to play?
What skin even is that as well? I'm so out of the loop with skins. That was a pretty sick looking M4.
It's an M4 skin. I don't know what kind, but...
Well, let us know. What's your favorite M4 skin? Or do you just have none? That's the question, right? Like, because I know if you do run a default, so, you know, we're going to have to wait and see. We got AKs out for ENCE. Flash into main. Looking like they wanted to go for one of these fast A plays, one of these signature fast A plays with a main drop coming on through. Frozen going to hold on to main. And ENCE, they've repeated the A play now, and it's never really looked any better than the first time.
Yeah, they're like, guys, Mousesports took A like every 10 rounds in a row on T-side. Let's give it a go.
Yeah, we can do it too. Come on, guys. Everyone's gone.
I doubt there's that much enthusiasm at a 14-4 scoreline, sadly.
Well,
they all finish as well.
Yeah, I was going to say that part is also probably a contributing factor to the excitement levels inside of said TeamSpeak or Discord.
The question is, are they finished in this match? Or map at least, Trace? 3-on-5 right now.
Yeah, maybe with one in.
Might not be wrong there. EMAS with a grimy angle.
Well, a lot of damage, but...
Oh, hello, Chris. How are you here? What have you done now, buddy? How have you broken the laws of nature to move in on this flank? Now, he is going to completely miss Sergey. It doesn't really matter because Frozen was there, ready and waiting for a hut push. The bomb was down on the B side. That round was done. And honestly, this map is done. Not really much of a contest, not really much in it. I will say that with Train coming up next, right, ENCE kind of reminded me of like big ages ago when they went on that like Mad Inferno streak back at the Major in Krakow, I'm pretty sure was that one. Where they just have like, you know, 1 or 2 really sick maps. Now, obviously, that's like an event that you don't talk about for big, but for ENCE right now, man, they're just, you know, they're really good on Dust, they're really good on Train, but we need to see a bit more from them on other maps. I do think this is going to go 3, though. All the more credit to Mouse if they're able to get it done in 2, but this nuke affair is basically done, right? You're a man down, up against 15. You've got 40 a name.
You don't have an M249?
Of course. Biggest problem here. And yeah, the only worry is, I want to agree with you, Harry, and say, like, yeah, ENCE probably should take Train, but the worry is, like, this has been like a bit of a classic Mousesports map in the past, and, you know, individually speaking right now, Mousesports are just besting ENCE on every single front. Like, Rops looks incredible. I was about to list the entire roster, so I'm not even gonna. Okay. Mouse looks so good right now. We're not seeing much from anyone from ENCE, right? Alu's been pretty quiet on the Orb, shut down and out. Yampy had a good first half, but no one's showing up on this T side, and it might be done as quick as you like it. Aerial running into the site. He's gone as well. Rops with a 3-piece to close it